Hi again then guys, and welcome to another installment of Ultimate Exotics on Gran Turismo 2 in particular, and this vehicle is one which can technically straddle a couple of categories. It's a very popular car from Gran Turismo 2, it made kind of a cameo appearance in Gran Turismo 3, or at least some versions of it, and it's a car which a lot of people have wanted to come back, and surely this car can't have been that difficult to return, given that it's basically the same visual model as the TS020 race car, but without livery. How difficult could it really have been for Polyphony to put this car into Gran Turismo 4, 5, 6? Well, for whatever reasons, they didn't. And this is one of the ultimate unicorn cars of the Gran Turismo franchise, because unlike a lot of others, like the Chrysler Phaeton, or the Renault Espace F1, or the Vectors, or the Venturis, as great as they are, this is one which goes beyond just being a great unicorn, and it's a fantastic car in general. Now, some others are also. The Espace F1 is a fantastic performance machine, but this Toyota, the TS020 road car, it's an absolute monster in Gran Turismo 2 standards. In fact, it's pretty much the fastest car in the game. It's certainly the fastest street car in the game from what I've found. It can absolutely obliterate the HKS dragsters, both the R33 and the 200SX. It leaves them standing. The top speed is well over 250 miles per hour around the test course, and to be fair, that's not even a particularly large track. Now, in terms of spec, again, it's running huge numbers. It doesn't have the sheer power of something necessarily like an Escudo, but what it does have is 975 horsepower fully tuned, 738 pound-feet of torque, and of course, being a Le Mans style prototype in road form, it's light, really light, 900 kilos. And when you combine that with the massive power, well, you're looking at 1,083 horsepower per tonne. That's pretty high. It's very high, in fact. Now, the engine is, of course, a 3.6 litre turbo unit. There are 3 different versions of the Toyota GT1 on the game. There's the road version, which is this one, of course, the 1 million credit car. Then you've got the SO, I believe it is, with the streaky white paint job. And then you've got the other version, which I can't recall at the moment, which is the one which was carried over to the other games. Or maybe that's the SO, I can't recall. The one which is just white at the front, basically. But those 3 versions are all fantastic. There's something always more special, though, about a homologated road prototype. It's up there with the 911 GT1, the Elise GT1, the CLK GTR, as being just such a badass road car. It's barely even legal to be on the road in the first place, so the fact that it is, although in this case you won't ever see it on the road because they only made one. I believe it's in the Toyota Museum, so you won't actually see it on the road, but the fact that it can go on the road, has a license plate, it's just so inherently cool. Now, on the game, 1 million credits is a pretty steep price. That's not ridiculously high. It's certainly not the most expensive car in the game, but I would say that of the cars which cost 1 million credits or more, certainly of the cars that cost exactly 1 million, and there are quite a few of those, this is the best one to get in terms of sheer all-round ability, because the handling is insanely good, the cornering speed is monstrous, and in a straight line, nothing can keep up with it, not even other race cars. So it really is a perfect all-rounder for the money. And it's one of the reasons why the GT1 has had so much love thereafter on Gran Turismo. In GT3 it was one of the best cars in the game, GT4 not quite as much, but it was still one of the fastest prototypes. GT5 and 6, it got pushed more towards the second or third option of most people because of having these new shiny alternatives like your Peugeot 908s and your Audi R10s, but still, the GT1 has always remained a competitive force, especially in terms of straight-line performance. This is no different, and in fact, in relation to the other cars on the game, the GT1 has never been more competitive than it was here. This is a dominant car. So, although this review doesn't necessarily tell you anything mind-blowingly amazing in terms of revelations about the car, what it does offer is the assurance that if you do decide to play Gran Turismo 2 and pick up the TS020 road car, which I believe, if I remember correctly, you can convert to the race modify liveried version, although why you'd want to, I don't know, you will not be disappointed. This thing is insanely good, and in unlimited class races, it can dominate them all easily. But that's it overall for this particular pick. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.